I want to bring in retired U.S. Navy Vice Admiral Robert Harward. He is former Deputy Commander of U.S. Central Command. He's also currently a fellow at the Jewish Institute for National Security of America. So great to have you with us. I mean, there's so much that's transpired in the last 24 hours. I think we wake up every morning to, a barrage of news, not really knowing where things stand. How are you describing the exchange of fire in the Strait of Hormuz? President Trump is defining it as a love tap. How are you reading into this militarily?
Well, it's a further escalation of not only his military strategy, but his financial strategy as well. And both have been very effective. He's choked down their resources with the blockade. So he can go after military targets now, commensurate with what he's seeing from the Iranians. So Bandar Abbas, Qasem Islands, those military targets that affect and support Iran's ability to close down the straits. I think that's what he's after right now, and that's the next step. But he has a lot further he can go if Iran will not agree to the conditions he's dictated through this process that the Iranians are calling negotiations. But the president has made very clear his goals and objectives that will be met to call a conclusion to the current hostilities.
Yeah, that's a really important point because we just don't know where this is headed as we wait for Iran's response. But quite interestingly, following those strikes, the U.S. CENTCOM posted on X saying the U.S. doesn't seek escalation but will protect U.S. forces. I mean, what is your sort of assessment on defensive measures that are taken versus an actual moment of escalation? It almost feels like we're in a moment right now where we could find a diplomatic off-ramp, but also, as you say, try and eliminate some of those risks that, are pretty evident in the Strait of Hormuz that are blocking the strait right now.
You've raised the issue very precisely. We've been very effective with their strategic or operational efforts, their missiles and drones, as they saw recently going after UAE and our assets. We've been able to deal with that and shut that down somewhat, although some of that's still in abeyance. But the more tactical use of these speedboats who go out and shoot at shipping, harass shipping, and cause problems is something the Navy's dealing with as well. So when you escalate, you try to keep it at that level. Go after those boats. Go after the ports they came after. But if that is not effective, they can ramp back up to go back after missile launchers, land sites, and ultimately dual use. Things that the military uses as well as civilian populations, such as roads of access, bridges, energy sources. So that's the path of escalation. And I think the president, the chairman, has been very astute at keeping that as a level that does not present long-term financial issues for Iran and the people of Iran, but they can quickly jump back to that level of escalation if the Iranians continue to escalate their use of power and setting the stage for compliance with the demands we've asked for.
Yeah. Admiral, what is also quite interesting, I mean, you're in Abu Dhabi. We know the Ministry of Defense early this morning says that they were dealing with missile and drone threats. This is the third day this week that we've seen this. President Trump says it does not, it's not a violation of the ceasefire. It doesn't break the ceasefire. But it also brings into question what Iran's military capabilities are right now. And clearly they're trying to send a very big message, not only by strikes here in the UAE, but also putting out this new, Persian Gulf Strait Authority that we're trying to formalize what happens in the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, most of their military capabilities have been severely diminished. They still have tools in their kit, and they want to leverage that for as much impact as they can. And this current arrangement on the Gulf is one of them. No one will ever agree to Iran having any influence, control, or the ability to charge for traffic flowing through the straits. It's an international waterway. It's necessary for the world commerce. So if Iran is going to continue to leverage that, fight for that, and that's what they're using these tools to do, to get as much they can out of this for an enduring situation. That's what they're going to use their military force to do, and everyone's focused on that. So I don't think that strategy is going to pan out. I would also say most important is this strategy is survival. That's always what they play for time, stay in charge. So regardless of where they end up, if they have to acquiesce on some of the straits, acquiesce on some of the nuclear issues, can they stay in power, outweight President Trump, and continue to regroup and move back in that direction at the end of this conflict? And that's unacceptable to the president and his team.
Exactly. I mean, it feels like a waiting game at this point. Thank you, sir, for your time. Former Deputy Commander Robert Harward. Thank you.